In this video, we'll take a look at how to navigate and utilize all the new features found in the Studio column of NotebookLM. Over here in NotebookLM, you have three columns. You have your sources here on the left, your chat down the middle, and then your Studio here on the right. So your sources here, these are the sources that will be used to pull information, to answer questions in the chat, and to create a variety of resources for your students. We'll start here with the audio overview. If you click the audio overview right now, just the way it is, it's going to create a podcast about what your sources are. Now, it's just going to kind of make it up on its own. But if you want to have some control over what the podcast sounds like, click on the little pencil button here. And you have these four different types of podcasts that it can create. The deep dive, which is usually between 5 and 10 minutes, two voices that will be talking about your sources. The brief is the one voice, roughly 2-minute overview podcast. And then we have two of the most recent ones, the critique and the debate. Then you can do the default for each one or make them shorter or longer than what they are normally. You can also choose your language for it. You can also focus the conversation of the podcast by clicking here, by saying possibly what grade your students are, what information you want to focus them on, you want the podcast to focus on, even what kind of examples and type of language that is being used that may be age appropriate for your students. You can do that to create a variety of podcasts. And if you were to create one, we'll do the brief right here. Let's do it basic. It'll then start processing right here, and this is where you'll be able to access it, listen to it, and send it to kids. Now, the video overview is very similar. If I just click it as is, it's going to make the video without any guidance, or click the button here. And now I can make two kinds of videos. The explainer, usually somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. It goes into deep detail of your sources, or the brief, which is like the podcast version. It would be about 2 minutes. You can choose your language, and then recently they added these different styles here for what it will look like here. So if I were to choose those things, I can click in here to focus the conversation at a specific type of language or style or even grade level. I could put that in there, generate. And again, just like the podcast, it's going to go up here. And then you can make multiple versions of these, and they all show up here in the studio. You have the mind map here. There's no customization tools here, but you click there. It'll create an interactive mind map that will show up very briefly. The reports, there it is right here. That's kind of what it looks like. It breaks down the different components of your sources. You can find this useful as a whole class or even a small group or even one-on-one activity with students. Here we have the reports. The reports are kind of these text documents that it builds. To the top row here, this is all the same, always the same. You can do right here where it says briefing doc, which is a kind of an executive bulleted summary, makes a study guide, or an article that reads like a blog post based on your sources. Now, depending on the content of your sources over here, it then suggests different kind of text that you can create. One's called a curriculum plan. In this case, it's suggested to make a presentation script. This one here is an explanatory article of the content of the source. And this one is a concept story. So if I were to click on this here, it tells you exactly what it's going to create. And again, you can add specific instructions and context to it here before clicking generate. One of the even newer features here, we have the flashcards. Again, if you click flashcards, just click the button. It'll kind of create it without any direction, or click the edit button. And then you can just determine how many flashcards there will be, level of difficulty, and you can give specific information, context and language style, reading level, all that for your flashcards. Then we have the quiz. So again, going back to the flashcards, it's very similar to something you may be familiar with Quizlet. But again, the quiz works the same way. You click it, it makes it without any direction, or you can focus the quiz here. Very similar to flashcards. The questions you want, how level of difficulty. Again, focus it with the context on who your students are and what information to focus on. The flashcards, the mind map, and the quiz come out pretty quickly. The reports are actually pretty quick. The videos usually take around 10 minutes, and the audio overviews somewhere between 5 and 6 minutes is pretty common. For that. Here's our flashcards, what they look like. You notice here there's an explain button. If you want it to be explained, you click it, and then it explains it over here in more detail in the chat. Again, based off of the sources we have here. Okay, so we have the quiz. Looks like this. Next. And if you get it wrong, you can come down here, also explain, and then it explains it in more detail, your mistake, in the chat. Again, the quiz and flashcards cannot be exported to be graded. It's just merely there for for students to get some extra practice. Here we have the brief, the audio podcast. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, you can click the three dots here. You can download this and then send it to students as an individual file if you like. And the video still processing takes about 10 minutes here. Again, you can make all of these things here for your students. Now, if you want students to access this, you can come in here to Google Classroom, click on Create, come down here where it says NotebookLM, select existing, find the one that we just created. I have a lot here. And then you click Attach Notebook, and then they will have access to it. It'll open up. So what's going to happen when you attach a notebook that you pre-create to the students, they will be able to see everything that you have, everything here except these buttons. They cannot make these things. So if you pre-created a bunch of resources, they can access those, they can access the chat, and they can access the sources that you curated for them. Again, so if you have any questions on how to use these various Notebook LM features, feel free to reach out to me at any time.